Hey YouTube, what is up? This is Majespecter Metalfoes versus Blue Eyes White Dragon round 3. Mike is starting this game off by activating Ignite Reload from hand. This is a card a lot of people sleep on. He sends 2 back to draw 3. You never lose hand advantage with Ignite Reload. For some reason, people just disregard the card, but it works in every Pendulum deck because it's not specific. It's not specific to the Ignite archetype, even though it's called Ignite Reload and has an Ignite on the card artwork. You can use it in any Pendulum deck. He then draws the Gofu, special summons Gofu, and puts out the 2 tokens from Gofu's effect. He is then going to activate a Metalfoes from his hand as a scale, using the Metalfoes scale effect to pop one of the tokens. This is such a free combo, it's ridiculous. He then searches out the Metalfoes fusion and sets it on his side of the field. Unfortunately, he did not draw another Metalfoes card when he did shuffle cards back with Ignite Reload, so he does not have Metalfoes in hand, so Metalfoes fusion is not that useful right now. He didn't search out the Metalfoes counter because he actually has one in his hand as well, so I don't think he needed 2 of those immediately. He then sets for 3 back row, a play we've seen from him before, and he just opens up the back row all the time with that deck, but John just opens up the complete back row hate, and he activates Twin Twister, ditching Dragon Spirit of White to pop 2 back row, and then he goes even harder with the back row hate, activating Return of the Dragon Lords to special summon back the Dragon Spirit of White, banishing the last back row, which is a set MST, something John has actually come up against Mike before. It's a card that he knows Mike runs, and he did it because he runs Mausoleum, and he knew Mike would probably have it set. So if he wanted to use the Mausoleum, he had to get rid of all the back row to be sure he got rid of the MST. John used Mausoleum to send Blue Eyes White Dragon to the graveyard, and then he decides to go even harder and activate another Return of the Dragon Lords, something I didn't see coming. John really opened up rather well with Blue Eyes. Drawing 2 Return of the Dragon Lords is absolutely nuts. The fact that the card is not once per turn as well just leads on to its amazing power, and its ability to protect in graveyard is also pretty busted. He then decides to XYZ into Prime Photon Dragon, then proceeds to slap Galaxy Eyes Full Armor Photon on top of that as well. Galaxy Eyes Full Armor Photon, if you don't know, has the effect of detaching 1 XYZ material to destroy 1 face-up card your opponent controls. It does target. He was gonna target the scale, but he actually goes for Gofu, which I think is a smarter play, because if Mike was able to get any Pendulum monsters out, Gofu would be a lot more alive. He then decides to go into Galaxy Eyes Dark Matter Dragon, forcing Mike to banish more cards from his deck, removing monsters that Mike actually needs to draw because he does need the monsters in the Pendulum scale. Mike is smart though and ditches the extra Gofu because he doesn't need another one, he needs Pendulum monsters. You can see John is actually planning a little bit ahead by sending White Stone of Ancients. Presumably he's going to use that to special summon another Dragon Spirit of White this turn and banish Mike's only other spell card, which is the face-up Pendulum card. In all, John is actually playing rather defensively. Even though he did bring out a big monster, he's actually been cautiously making his moves by actually eradicating all the back row he can, and then planning for the next turn as well, getting rid of Mike's scale, which will make it a lot harder for Mike to bounce back from. Now the thing is, Blue Eyes is a deck that does kind of shit on Pendulums just because it's Blue Eyes. Their Synchro monster stops Pendulum summons, it stops graveyard effects, and that's something that this deck actually has a hard time against. You can actually negate the graveyard effect of the Metalfoes fusion with Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. This deck just happens to have the bad matchup in my mind. Metalfoes have a lot of potential, but Blue Eyes is one of the decks that they really do have a tough time against. When you open up 2 Return of the Dragon Lords Twin Twister and you just banish and pop all the back row, it really is hard to get out of it when your deck does rely on spells and traps. So you can see he ends his turn, special summons the Dragon Spirit of White like we said before, and banishes Mike's scale. Mike does the only move he has left, which is normal summon Archfiend Eccentric to pop the Galaxy Eyes Dark Matter Dragon, but John can banish Return of the Dragon Lords to prevent its destruction, and Mike knows when he's beat. All in all, I'd say Mike played the best he could given the cards he did, but we've all had duels where our opponent just has the answer to every play we make, and that's unfortunate when that does happen. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. I will be posting deck profiles of Mike's Metalfoes, Majespecter, and John's Blue Eyes decks in a day or so don't forget to follow me on Twitter @Schwabs, or like my Facebook page to see when I post those videos. I'm actually going to have a water deck profile, a different Blue Eyes deck profile, and a gadget deck profile coming up soon too. So if any of those interest you guys, don't forget to click subscribe because it's free, it's fun, and I'll see you guys in the next one.